Yeah, buddy. Oh, we're laughing right off the top. We're laughing. We're having a good time here.
That the mics go hot as soon as.
Oh, I know they go hot, but listen. We're already laughing. The chat's here. We're having a good time. Welcome into the PHNX Rising podcast. We are here in Studio K, presented by Circle K. Go on in, grab a Polar Pop for 79 cents.
Max is buying. If you see Max at your nearest Circle K, he will buy you a Polar Pop. I think if they catch you in that one specific moment, I think you should do it.
I'm man enough to say I'll do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, if a fan literally bumps into you right at that moment, you wouldn't say no, would you?
Max, it's the beauty of a Polar Pop. They're 79 cents, 69 cents for Inner Circle members.
Listen,
Max.
I'm not disagreeing about anything you're saying, nor would I refuse buying a Polar Pop. Here's the thing, though. Owen, for all the times you say I run my mouth, you would not do the same.
Yeah, but if I did bump into
he's already deflecting.
If I bumped into someone, I'd do it.
Oh my gosh.
Max is buying Polar Pops.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway.
If someone saw me at a Circle K, I would buy them a Polar Pop. Come on, they're cheap, man. They're not expensive.
I'm not the one who's disagreeing with it. I will. If I bump into someone, I will. But
there you go. The man said it himself.
Okay,
Find Max at your nearest Circle K, you will get a Polar Pop.
Oh my gosh.
Courtesy of Max.
What I'm saying is you wouldn't, guy. Anyway.
I said I would.
Appreciate everyone joining us in the chat. Fat Kid. So now, BJ, yours was the one I was actually laughing at. Is there clock behind? Oh, wait, they're always late. Apologies, it's Owen. You know, he's always just late.
No, it's Max. Max is always...
No.
Listen, Damon, can you tell the people why Max makes us late every single time?
Because he has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
He's got a small bladder. Drinks a lot of water.
That is 5 minutes before I make sure I'm back here.
Show us your bottle. Show us your bottle over there. Bring it in. Bring it in on camera. Bring it on camera. No.
People have already seen the bottle.
So they can't
People have already seen the bottle.
And you knock that back because you take all the water in this studio.
I bring my own water. That is not true. That is not true. I bring my own water.
There is a reason that we do not have water in this office and haven't for the last 2 weeks.
It is not me.
And it's because
it is not me.
It's because someone has a 120-ounce water bottle that he brings.
Exactly. It's not me. I have a 100-ounce water bottle. Joke's on you. It's only 100 ounces. I'm
1,000-ounce water bottle.
Okay, there it is. It's not me. Yeah. You look foolish right now. Oh boy. But yes, appreciate everyone.
I think Max does it. Damon thinks Max does it, and Max says he doesn't. I think that's 2 against 1.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, we got a great pod for everyone here tonight. I think we'll finally be able to progress through this podcast if you guys are done talking about my water bottle. That's exactly what everyone wants to talk about. Definitely not Rising's new signing. That's not it.
No, I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, but anyway, yes, got a lot to talk through tonight. We are going to talk about Rising's new signing. Right? We're going to kind of preview Friday's matchup against El Paso Locomotive. Hard to believe that we played them about a month ago, and really just kind of setting the scene for a lot to come. There's a lot of transition, right? International window opens up tomorrow. So there's hopefully more to come with this team, but we can't talk about what has come. What has been announced, what was teased yesterday, was announced today by the club. Charlie Dennis, midfielder, coming in from Tampa Bay Rowdies. Owen, initial thoughts right off the bat.
Yeah. Interesting signing. I saw a very positive reaction from the fan base. As you'd expect for someone who's got some good stats coming in. I will kind of caution in some ways because, and we'll get into this in more detail as we go on, but I think you have to think about what you're going to do in terms of, who's going to presumably be displaced, right? Signings come in and replace someone. Mm-hmm. And that's not always necessarily going to indicate that someone who comes in and their raw numbers as you consider them are going to be indicative of what the added value, say, to a team is.
This is true.
We'll get into that. But overall, I think that it's a decent signing. But still, it's a balance.
It is a balance. I mean, I'll put it this way. And I think if you're looking at this, it depends how you look at this. If you look at this within a vacuum of, hey, brought in a creative-based midfielder, and that's all you look at it as. Okay, like decent talent, not bad, right? Has some areas which I know you're going to highlight where we think he can improve this squad, and he brings a lot to the table. You look at it in a vacuum, it's a good signing, like for sure. Now, I think where you kind of zoom out is, okay, well, what does this mean in context to the guys who are already on the club who play in similar positions, which we will also get into? And then also the other way that you look at it when you zoom out is who you haven't brought in, who you haven't announced, which again, the number 9 position, which we have spent so much time talking about.
We have, but of course they haven't announced that at all. The FIFA transfer matching system doesn't open till tomorrow.
Exactly.
How are you going to announce that now? I can't even guarantee you, right, necessarily, they'll announce someone tomorrow.
May not.
Look, here's my read on the situation. My understanding is the club is in for someone. We'll see how it goes. I don't know when the announcement will come. I don't know quite how close it is. It could well end up with something before the game on Friday. We might not. We'll see. We'll see. Look, I would also add here that, it's the one comment in there that you'd imagine that you'd want your coach probably sorted out before some of the players.
That is the kind of weird window we're kind of looking at here.
It is. And it's an awkward one, right? Because again, I think the whole point of having a sporting director and having that kind of setup in a club usually is to ensure that there is, sufficient continuity between managers. The fact of the matter is it didn't work with the last time. When it was tested in terms of its transition from Juan Guerra across to Danny Stone, that model didn't hold up what it's supposed to hold up, which is a solid transition that ensures that you're not kind of having to take steps backward. This club did take steps backward over the offseason in the managerial transition because of the way that the squad was built and all of that, right? It's not as simple as just being able to put those, to swap the manager out and it worked and everything was fine. I feel as though as we look at this team now, they're trying to rebuild it and rebuild in a certain image. That also limits you in terms of the management that you can pursue, I think. If you're going to decide that all those decisions must be made at a top level. And I mean, again, with the greatest possible respect, you're asking the new managers to come in and say, you're going to accept things exactly as we've decided you're going to do. And the we in this case is effectively a team executive and a former Major League Baseball pitcher. And it's not to say they don't have a role to play in this, but it's not the most enticing offer. It doesn't sound, does it? No. Especially because, again, these decisions now are being made continuing. And actually, I think what it gets into then, and this is a more serious point, we've often discussed, I think, the idea of how much of this is decisions being made by people at the top, and club management, that are not necessarily the footballing staff, even if they are in a sporting position and their roles come with sporting responsibilities. They're not necessarily the football experience staff per se.
Right.
And how much of it comes from the coaching staff and that side of the club. And the idea of continuing to make decisions that are serious club decisions moving forward at least gives the impression from the outside that those decisions are being made more on a club management side. For now, at the very least, that's the way they're going. And again, it's the image that gives out to the world. But that's where they are.
Yeah. Goodness. Listen, I have stuff to say on that, but listen, I gotta acknowledge the chat. You guys are going off. Producer Damon, if we can keep on scrolling back up, please. Just kind of want to go
There's
through
loads of this.
The chat. You are active. Make sure to hit that like button, by the way. Helps us out. Really appreciate a little bit more, Damon. Just want to make sure. Yeah, oh gosh, why do we use that thumbnail for the bottom? All right, let's.
I think it's great. It looks like you, Max.
Something.
Is that you?
Okay.
You look excited, Max.
I am something.
Almost as excited as you're going to be for Friday night?
Yes. Okay, let's start with Jets. Is Charlie technically an ex-employee of Phoenix Rising? Okay.
Yeah, they still own this team. The FC Tucson in 2020, didn't they?
It's fair. Okay, let's see. The news Bluebird kind of going off what you mentioned. Professional run teams sort out the coach for signing someone on the whim. Okay. Kind of like the cart before the horse type of situation. Harry chiming in from San Antonio. Yes, we have not signed a striker yet. Again, as previously alluded to. Edward in the chat.
Well, again, it's the international window. Remember, if you're going for someone outside of this country, someone who is not a domestic signing.
This is true.
You're going to have to wait until Thursday, tomorrow, to be able to register them.
Yep, this is very true. And
so shout out John Morrissey.
Just a little bit up further. Yeah, a little bit further up. So here we go. Ben News Bluebird. If Panos goes, it'll show team exec vindictiveness is more important to ownership than the best interest of the team. And then John chiming in. That was a hard word for me. And John chiming in. The more I think about it, the more I think Dennis is a better fit than Panos in the squad, given the game model. Listen, that will be part of the conversation. And
we're about to do it.
We're about to get in it. We're talking about this again for those who have somehow been living under a rock. This is our transaction of the day, brought to you by our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. It is Charlie Dennis, again, coming over from Tampa Bay Rowdies. Again, midfielder by trade. It's what he does. And I think, again, this is naturally where the conversation has kind of gone to, right? We have seen Panos Armenakas. He was not named in selection for reasons.
He was not available for selection for the last
Not available for selection.
We don't know if he'll be available for selection for Friday.
We have
do
no
have
idea.
A press conference tomorrow. So we may find out more on that front. But
we have no idea. But again, it's all right. Listen, we know how we have felt about Panos Armenakas. We very much appreciate what he brings to the table from the creativity standpoint, from the chance creation standpoint. We're going to put the qualitativeness aside, and let's actually take a look at a pure numbers breakdown. I believe you have something you kind of whipped up, and you were looking at these two, not from this season.
The comparison.
Not from this season, but last season when they were both on squads that were contenders.
Yeah, so let's have a look at some of these numbers. They're per 90. I've also not included Panos' Loudon days just to do a direct comparison, really, between...
We said contenders.
Bang. Contenders, right? So we're doing this as the midfield battle. We've got Charlie Dennis with Tampa Bay Rowdies and Panos Armenakas with Phoenix Rising. If you look at that, of course, the obvious numbers at the top, Charlie Dennis, he scored a lot of goals last season. He did score at a clip of about twice as often per 90 than Panos Armenakas did. Assists, though, Panos has the edge. But chance creation, they're pretty similar. Expected assists, pretty similar. Interceptions, pretty similar. Now, here's the thing. He is a more physical player, Charlie Dennis, than Panos Armenakas is. You can see that in the duels. You also see it in things like the aerial duels, right? This is a guy who is over 6 foot tall, okay? Playing as an attacking midfielder, he can have some kind of aerial threat in there. That's not a huge shock. But a lot of the underlying numbers, things like the chance creation, things like the expected assists for last season on a larger time scale as well, when we're comparing it, say, to... I guess you could pull the 500 minutes from this year that Charlie Dennis has played, but that's 6 games, effectively. 6 games worth of minutes. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, they're similar in a lot of ways. Worth noting, I will say this, Panos Armenakas, they didn't rely on him for goals at all last season, Phoenix Rising. There was the ability for him to be more of that kind of playmaker, because the idea when he came in, and I mean, he's told that story many times, right? When he came in, he said to Danny Trejo and to Manuel Arteaga, if I do my job right, you guys are going to score a load of goals. That was kind of the idea there. He did also play a bit higher goalie man Pat to give a bit of comparison with what he's done earlier in his career. Look, here's the thing. He is a more physical player. He has more aerial presence. Also, though, none of those 11 goals that he scored last season were headers, by the way.
Yeah.
So again, as we talk about things like presence in the area and the ability to go up and win headers and crossing has been a struggle with this team because there's not always someone to aim for. He hasn't been scoring headers.
Yep.
By and large. Now, you compare that with this season. Panos' numbers, of course, have fallen behind him, right? Even though they've gone up in some ways, right? When you actually look at it in terms of chance creation, Panos is up a little bit. But Charlie Dennis has nigh on doubled his chance creation per 90.
Yep.
Okay? I'll add a caveat to that, though, and it's why I think it was more important to consider the numbers to a degree from last year versus this year. Panos Armenakas is on a very struggling team. Tampa Bay Rowdies are not a struggling team. Tampa Bay Rowdies are not a struggling team, not because of Charlie Dennis, because they have a lot going right there. At the
got a lot of goals.
Well, look, a perfect example. You could take 2 players right now off that Tampa Bay Rowdies squad. They have more goals between those 2 players alone than Phoenix Rising has as a club.
One of them was a former Rising player that was on the team last year.
May I ask, as someone who's a little bit less informed on the matter, like, why would he leave Tampa Bay if they're such a better team?
You don't always have a choice in the matter. So USL players, by their collective bargaining agreement, they've kind of implemented trading within the league. You don't always have a choice. You can get the phone call and be told that you've been moved on. So they have to give you the same contract and comparable things in terms of the non-monetary compensations. So things like if meals are included, they've either probably got to provide you with meals, or they're going to have to give up some money to accept that. And accommodation also can be a part of that, and all of that. You have to give comparable accommodations in general.
Interesting.
But you still exist in a system whereby now USL players, the Players Association, gave up that right in the collective bargaining agreement. So it is possible to move players on without needing them to agree, yeah, I'm going to move. You can just give them the phone call and say, we're moving you across to somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from.
And also, I mean, there are other factors. We don't know whether he wanted to move here because he wanted to be around certain other players.
Have former teammates.
There are different things that you may want to do. There's always exactly. There are former teammates in this team. That's the other thing actually that makes me wonder a little bit here. And again, it kind of goes back to how you're going to use, how you're going to use Charlie Dennis in this, because we have some numbers for him in terms of what he did in Oakland, and the output numbers weren't great. Of course, Charlie Dennis was on the 2022 Oakland Roots team, much like many other members of this current Phoenix Rising team. There's quite a lot of them when you look. Alejandro Fuenmayor, Edgardo Rito, Juan Carlos Azacar, Darius Formella. Who else am I missing, Max?
Jose Andres
Hernandez. There we go.
Yep.
It's a lot. It's a lot in terms of
crazy.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
Is that 6? Is that math? That counting?
It's a pretty substantial.
Half a star 11, man.
Mm-hmm.
And where'd they start, or where'd they finish that year?
Oakland? Where did they finish? 7th, I believe.
Sounds about right.
7th?
Just snuck in.
They snuck in the final one. They then, if I'm not mistaken, knocked out San Diego Loyal in the first round of the playoffs in a real embarrassing fixture where San Diego finished with 8 men, I think. I mean, that was like the kind of meltdown that was just perfect. But like, I mean, imagine ending a game with 8 men. Wow. That's impressive.
It's tough to do. Like, it's hard to do in FIFA.
Yeah.
Again, and some of the stats you ran through, right? It is good to compare them both from last year when they were on winning clubs. There is kind of a caveat, right? Of like, listen, I also believe that form from last year is not always indicative of current form. But again, as you kind of mentioned, without overwhelming and hitting people over the head with the numbers, there are some comparables. While yes, Charlie Dennis has been a little bit more within the realm of chance creation and stuff like that. Panos, a little bit further into passing the final third, a little bit more progressive in there. There's some similarities. And I guess to draw this all back, where I go back to, and if we scroll up just a little bit, Damon Dog, Going Man Pat's comment. How about we both have both Panos and Dennis? Just a thought. That to me is kind of where my head goes with this is Charlie Dennis, I think, can give you a little bit something different. He does bring a lot of skills to the table, and you hope that there's a number 9 coming, right? So we'll put that to a side. If you look at this just in isolation, he's a talented player. Why not maximize the 2? That's the part that I don't get.
Here's the thing. He's a chance creator, but he's a different kind of chance creator to Panos. They play in different ways,
yes,
but they both create a lot of chances. Here's where my concern is. If this isn't why don't we have both? And it is, as I think quite a few of us fear, a case whereby it's plausible that Panos Armenakas moves on, potentially even to another USL team. You have to ask the question then of what does this add from a serious season-defining kind of moment? Because here's the thing. A lot of Panos' struggles this year have also been tactical in nature.
Sure.
He's had to drop deeper. He's had to be the person who drives the ball forward at times, is the idea at least. And it's where some of Rising's struggles have come.
Yep.
Because when you look at Rising's midfield, they don't really have that drive. They kind of have pace out wide, and they have a midfield that is quite slow, that can be quite ponderous and quite sideways, and doesn't always find ways to advance the ball with any real urgency.
Same as last year minus Carlos Harvey.
Right. Well, Carlos Harvey was the difference in that team.
Yes, exactly.
So here's the question. How are you going to play Charlie Dennis? Because if you just treat him as a like-for-like swap for Panos Armenakas, you're still going to run into some of those same problems.
Agreed.
Okay? You're still going to run into problems whereby where is the drive coming from the midfield? You're going to run into problems whereby how much of the chance creation is him going to be particularly creative and make something happen versus perhaps a lack of outlets for him to actually create those chances. Because chance creation is not a one-man job. It never is. You've A, got to be in positions whereby you're able to actually create those chances. B, get picked out by your teammates. And C, have teammates in a place that you can actually create a chance by passing the ball to them.
Yeah.
Those things don't come about just because you yourself can do them. Never does.
100%.
And then, okay, you take the other side to that, which would be, well, if you do play him deeper, perhaps he's a more physical player. Maybe he could play deeper. Maybe he could give them some of the drive in here. But then you're going to weed away perhaps a little bit at that chance creation.
Yeah.
And those numbers from this year are impressive. But again, they are impressive, but on a much smaller sample size because he hasn't played a lot of minutes hugely for Tampa. He's played about 6 games worth of minutes.
Yep.
Alternatively, you leave him up there. So do you find ways to get the ball to him? Maybe, maybe not. You find then, well, he's got goal scoring ability. But the problem by getting rid of someone like a Panos Armenakas is who else on the team is creating chances right now? What's the point in having a goal scorer if you've got people who don't create chances around him? Gabi Torres creates chances, yes, but again, it's at a substantially lower rate than, for example, a Panos Armenakas is creating chances at the moment.
Yep.
And so, again, all of these things as I add them up, and knowing as well that we've mentioned the things about headers, we've mentioned that part, and you go, okay, this guy's taller, he's got more of an aerial presence, he does win more aerial duels than Panos and then some of the other players involved in this team. Maybe that's where you find something. You also look at his rate of scoring headers, and he didn't score any headers last season, despite scoring 11 goals.
Yeah.
There were not headed goals in there.
Sure.
So, again, right, this is a guy who can add a lot. And he's a guy who you'd say, is he a good player? Yes. Is he the season-changing signing? Not necessarily. And again, people who are getting excited over him as this guy's a chance creator, you have to remember these things are always more of a change in squad rather than just dump him in and assume that, you know, that's just on top of what you're already doing. He's replacing someone in that squad. He's replacing someone's playing time at the very least. Whose playing time is he going to replace is a huge part of the equation that tells you what kind of a change you're making. Again, does he improve this team? I think he does. Possibly even if he's being swapped like for Panos.
Sure.
He may well improve the team.
But I think
But
marginal
is it a
at best.
game-changing
Marginal at
improvement?
best.
I was chatting with Max about this earlier today, all right? And if you went out and got the best goalkeeper in the world and put him in goal in place of Rocco Rios Novo, your team would have improved. The quality of the team overall has gone up. But that doesn't mean that you've fixed the team's problems. We'll see how this comes out. It also, again, depends on what the plan is with him. He was described by Diego Gomez as a box-to-box midfielder in this, which makes me think that we're probably looking at him maybe a little bit more
further back.
Maybe more of an Aidan Quinn type player.
Sure.
Okay, and again, the goals and assists over time, slightly different proportions maybe between those two, but it's similar kind of production from an expected goals contributions.
Sure.
Kind of thing there. Maybe that's more what you're looking at for him there. The question then becomes what happens to Panos, and at this point, none of us quite know.
Sure.
Things are quite dubious looking right now. We're going to be asking questions tomorrow. You know we'll be asking questions tomorrow. That's not a a surprise. But again, is it the right move? I don't know. And we'll see. Because again, right, we're at a point now with 6 players who could all be starting any given game are from a 2022 Oakland Roots side that finished 7th.
Yeah.
And again, Charlie Downs had a great season last year. He could well turn out to be a very good player.
Yeah.
But who he replaces and what role they want him to play is going to be a critical part of that. And again, until we see him out on the field and we see what Rising's plan is, and quite frankly, we work out whether Diego Gomez has this job until the end of the season or doesn't, or if a new head coach comes in and we see what the new head coach wants to do with him. We're not really going to know.
Yeah.
We're not really going to know.
There is a lot to chew on here. I'll kind of, because man, we can go all day with this.
We would go all day with this.
We can. We will. Well, then we'll chop it up in Discord as well. Well,
I think we've been chatting about this quite a bit today.
We have. I mean, also, before we started. Listen, we'll chop into a couple things, right? Number one, you would hope.
No, Scott, no word on coach right now.
Yeah. You would hope / have to imagine that regardless of Diego Gomez's time in charge, no matter whether they're already having active conversations with whatever prospective new manager, that this is being brought in the likeness of who they want to bring in as a manager. Cannot assume, but that is the hope. Okay, so there is that. You have something to say?
No.
Okay, cool. Number 2, right, is again, I look at this in a vacuum. This is a good signing. It's a good signing. If you look at this again in the context of if it's a swapping out for player, if it's still not having the number 9, it may marginally improve you. It does shore up and make a little more dynamism into the midfield, but I don't believe this is the game changer.
To D. Gurley's point here, any changes that are positive at this point, what we've done isn't working. No, it's not. I thoroughly disagree with that. There's always space to make the wrong decisions. It doesn't matter. Okay? No, but that's a serious point
line.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay? You can always make things worse.
It's true.
Okay? Trust me. You will never hit rock bottom. Okay? So don't assume that any changes are positive. Okay? Look at it this way. At the end of the Rick Shantz tenure, okay, that man was throwing things at the wall, seeing what could stick tactically. They had no clue, no tactical identity, nothing. They were changing things week in, week out, and trying to see how they were going to make things work. And they never recovered from that.
No.
So the point that any changes are positive at this point is not true. You can get worse.
Sure.
It's possible. I don't necessarily think this one will make this team worse overall, even if I'd question sometimes if this is necessarily going to make things better.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't mean that any changes are positive. You can get rid of Rocco Rios Novo and bring in, I don't know, give me someone bad. Give me a bad goalkeeper.
Player who we were watching earlier today.
Nah, I'm not. Coque Vegas actually would fit in this system.
I know. You're talking about the picks.
Okay,
well, you can get someone worse, which is most keepers in this.
Imagine you got rid of Rocco Rios Novo and said we're sticking with Patrick Rakowski the rest of the season. No offense, Patrick, but you're not Rocco Rios Novo. That would arguably be a change that's not made things more positive. There's always ways where, again, you don't just try things for the sake of trying things. This might be the right decision, but we'll see.
You're Nick Squared. You're absolutely right. I can't play keeper. I got.
Max can't play goalkeeper.
A long history of
shoulders. No, not
long history of shoulders.
Speaking of which, Max, are you playing for? What is this?
Stop distracting.
What are you wearing?
Stop distracting.
I think we've come about to the end of the.
Yes, I was trying to make my summary points, and you interject. Goodness gracious. Yes. D-Gully, to your point, like, I think this will help within that positional sense, regardless where you're plugging him in. I mean, right, you could make the argument that, yes, without a doubt, number 9 was the most needed upgrade and goodness gracious, if that does not happen in some capacity throughout the near future, like, we're in trouble. But very much so, right? There are 2 other position areas which I could outline that I believe could be in that same mold that could use that upgrade. It would be maybe a bit more clinicalness from those like outside backs, the wingers, and then also, right, that deep lying central midfielder, you could use a bit more dynamism. So check one of those boxes, as Charlie Dennis coming in could help provide a bit of the boost. I don't think it's bad. Again, it's just, is he going to be that full-time difference maker? We are not sure.
Again, what I'll say in this one, if you want to make him the midfield solution, I mean, it would be an improvement.
Yeah.
I think it would be an improvement over the pivot that we've seen so far, which hasn't been working overall. I do think that you could actually create something from putting him in there. The issue, again, is that it also feels increasingly as though Panos Armenakas may be leaving, in which case this guy is going to fill in the chances created that he otherwise would have potentially provided. Yep. I don't know. We will see. We will see.
Will we see? One thing we don't have to see about is our friends at Circle K, whether I'm going to stop by after the show and get another
Max
Polar Pop.
Is getting a Polar Pop, and if you see him there, remember to ask him for a Polar Pop.
I mean, yeah, good luck trying to find me. There are many Circle Ks throughout the valley, which I can frequent, which you can try to find me at. Again, good luck. There are tons of them. What are you smirking at, Damon Dog? What are you
saying? You making it a challenge? Saying good luck.
Yeah, sure. Come find me. Come find me. I'll give you a Polar Pop. Like, there's tons of Circle Ks. I could be at any one of them. But yes, Circle K, 7
Hey,
Polar
everyone.
Pops.
Max kind of lives in the Papago Park area, so
don't give away
I would
my
say
locale.
maybe chilling around those Circle Ks would be the best advantage. You're welcome.
You little sneak.
And obviously, our studios are downtown Phoenix. So just like track between those 2 locations.
I will go to Levine. I will go to Avondale. I will go anywhere throughout the valley if it means.
Are you just trying to donate more money to Circle K by driving out of your way?
You're darn right, because
so
I'm filling up with their gas, where I save 25 cents per gallon on my first 5 fill-ups of an Inner Circle member. Listen, I've already been an Inner Circle member for a while. I already blew past that, so I'm already at the max level. 5 cents off per gallon.
That's not called the max level, Max.
Look it up, buddy. It's the maximum amount you can save through Inner Circle. He's Googling it. I got him. Shoot. I mean, he's searching it on website.
You haven't got me, because I'm about to read you the actual name for
Oh, boy. While you're doing that, Damon Dog.
Premium member. What? Not max level. Stop branding it after yourself.
Premium max.
I'm also a max level member.
Bang! Max. We got him! Yes. Someone's at the Wrexham level if you really want to go there. Let's go. You can get to the Wrexham max level too. Check out Circle K at any participating locations. Terms and conditions do apply. See store locations for details. Damon Dog, let's hit it. Let's redeem ourselves from Monday. Again, for those of you who are listening on audio, you got to come back and watch this. What do we have today? We're tossing a little bit of a little, yes, here we go. Little Circle K fruity gummy bears. Here we go. We did not connect on the
one of these days,
peanut butter
Max
pretzel.
Is actually going to start choking live on air with one of these.
Content.
It's going to be content gold.
Will you give the Heimlich? Oh, come on. You can't do that. Goodness. Here we go. Hit it. Yep. Oh, and it almost fell out, but hey, we got it in there. Let's go.
That almost went up your nose, mate, didn't it?
No, it didn't.
It looked pretty close.
There's a gap there. Just hopefully not like in Rise's midfield after Charlie Dennis, goodness, comes in and does his job, right? Circle K does their job. Also, you know where else does their job? So friends over at Valley Tap Room. Valley Tap Room does their job. They did their job at the watch party. Again, we already said it on Monday. Spain State football, and we were there to watch it.
Football.
We were there to watch it happen. Valley Tap Room. We're at their Gilbert location. You know what? Donald, the owner there, nice guy, gave us some nice beer specials, all that good stuff. He said, you know, come on down to their Queen Creek location as well. Be on the lookout. Plan on doing some PHNX Rising activities throughout the season, especially as we get into the end of it, the dog days, if you will. Check out Valley Tap Room, 2 locations again, Gilbert and Queen Creek. For you guys on the east side in the East Valley. Great time there. Beer specials, all that great stuff. They got 4 Peaks there. Make sure to check them out at valleytaproom.com and on socials at Valley Tap Room.
Yeah.
All righty. My goodness, the chat, you guys are absolutely crushing it. We do have to take a look because we have a match this week. It's nice to have a match again.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
El Paso Locomotive. Phoenix Rising played them what was it? A month ago from Monday. So very recent opponent. Since these two,
I will say actually, can I address one thing in there?
You're already there. There you go.
Kevin, just is Stenberg available, missing his leadership on the field. He was on the bench in San Antonio, wasn't he? He was coming back from injury. Presuming there's not been a setback, and I haven't yet heard anything to suggest that there is, and we won't hear anything probably until tomorrow. Is any indicative on that? I would presume yes. He is back to fitness probably on the timetable that we're looking at there, which is 2 weeks from when he made a sub appearance without actually coming on. So yeah, I'd imagine he will be fit for the next game, but we'll see.
We shall see. But yes, as those two teams, when they played a little over a month ago, they've not been in great form. The Paso Locomotive, they've played 3 matches. They lost them all. Rising has played 3 matches. They haven't won one. It is listen, we were kind of saying this a couple weeks ago of there's some storms brewing, and you are going to be playing a San Antonio team, which was second from the bottom. You lost to them.
Yep.
You're not playing the bottom. You're playing the scraps. You're playing a not informed team at home.
Are you ready for the Battle of Mid?
Oh, dude, you told me that earlier. I don't know if this is mid, dude. This is like poor. The battle of even worse than mid. And that's just too wordy. So we'll say mid for the time being. But again, as a refresher, El Paso Locomotive, Phoenix Rising, when they played each other a little bit over a month ago, it was a 1-1 draw. It was, by and large, all El Paso. They scored early. And
the second half, Rising got back into
the game. And do you know who scored that goal?
Yeah, it was Panos Armenakas.
It sure was.
The next best chance came from Erickson Gallardo hitting a post, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it the bar?
So,
the bar? Might have been the bar.
Well, he hit the woodwork.
Well, yes.
We'll say that.
Well, we'll say that.
He hit the woodwork.
Yes, I mean, listen, you look at the eye test, you look at the stats, pretty much very in favor of El Paso Locomotive. Again, they won the expected goals. They had more shots on target, and by a larger percentage, more of the same. So you know what? We're kind of looking, right? El Paso, they're riding 3 matches of losses in a row. How did they do in their most recent match? Again, they saw El Paso saw Vegas come to their place 1 week ago on last Friday. They lost 2-0. I mean, right, you're kind of looking at the stats. It's poor finishing from both squads. Expected goals were kind of there, but it was just this is also a team where they're riding poor form. We're gonna get into score predictions in a bit, but like, this is not a good team. This is not a good team. This is your best opportunity in the near future to get a result. There is no other way about it. This is a poor team. They've been that way all season long, very much in the near future and very much in the recent past. You are riding a team that is doing even poorer form than you.
Poor team. I'll draw that distinction. They have some good players there.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sure.
We've seen that.
Sure.
And they're creating chances. They created chances in that last game. As you pointed out, they had 13 shots.
They did.
5 on target.
It's better than Rising has been in a lot of these matches, yes.
Look, it could be worse.
Could be,
could be
worse. We're kind of grasping
here. But they're not
here.
scoring goals at the moment either. That's the problem. They've scored, is it 1 in their last 3?
You are correct.
1 in their last 3 while conceding 7. Which Rising have conceded 7 over their last 2. Actually, while scoring 2 in the process. So,
boom.
Look, it's not going to be the most, I think, exciting game to look forward to, but it's going to be a pretty important game for both teams. I think it's one of those ones whereby, again, Rising really need a win.
Yes,
I think the vibes are going to be bad if they do not win. It's a home game against a pretty poor team overall that are struggling at the foot of the table.
I mean this.
The vibes are kind of in the floor already. Right, I mean this
in a somewhat most respectful way to El Paso. Maybe it's probably not going to come across as like respectful. You guys are bad.
Hey El Paso, if you're watching this, clip this and play it before the game. He's about to say something terrible.
What the heck? No, El Paso. Like yes, they have some players on their team, right? They have players who have given Rising some fits in recent memory. You're not good. Like, you're not good within form. You are not good within how the season is going. Rising, you don't really have much momentum either. But listen, you have a new player in the fold. You have, an interim coach. Like, listen, not a lot's going your way either, but you're paying someone who has even less going their way. Take that shred of anything for what you have. You are playing at home. It is dollar beer night. I mean, listen, we have seen situations this season where we said if Rising does not get a result here, and honestly, Nate, if they don't get a win here, it's indicative of just there's so much that's just poor, and you don't want this to go more sideways.
I'd agree.
And this is the golden opportunity.
Gunnerman Pat, you can't lose at home to the worst team in the conference. Remember when Rising lost to Vegas last year at home?
Yeah, that was.
They were the worst team in the conference, weren't they?
That was bad.
They were bad.
That was on our quest of 3 matches, 9 points, and we got 6 points from 2 matches. Alas. Oh man, yeah. It's listen, we can do more analysis. Score predictions. Give me
score predictions.
Chat, chime in as well. We haven't done this in a couple weeks. Yeah, who? Oh, 1-0. Sorry, I thought you said 1. I thought you said 1-0. I thought you said 1-0. I thought you said 1-0. My bad. Did not hear you. Okay, would you like to name a goal scorer for Rising? Live a little.
Rami hasn't scored for a while. Rami will get one.
Okay, we are waiting for chat to flood this in. Oh man. Gosh, this is tough. I'm gonna go. I'll go 2-1. I'll go El Paso.
This man is ready for the. Max, how are you feeling? How are your vibes right now? You feeling good? No, he's not.
I mean, let's see. We got Ben News, Bluebird, 0-0, a Boar draw, Welsh AZ. The General, a sloppy 1-0. I'm going to assume Rising. D goalie, 1-0 Rising. Goalie man Pat, 0-0. Both teams get like 2 shots on goal. Pentino's Bluebird Wyke with a double yellow. Siley with me. El Paso win. Mixed squared 2-1 Phoenix, and giving me the max. Kevin 1-1. El Paso scoring late. John McPherson 2-1 riding with me. El Paso. I mean, listen, man, like, there's an Allen chat 1-0 Rocco to score. Let's go. That got Damon Dog perked up.
No one has the guts to say it, so I'll do it. 3-0 Rising. We're taking care of business, boys.
Oh man,
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. I love it.
Someone needs to be confident.
You are the only one in this entire show in the chat
who say anything other than scraping a win at best. Everyone has got like a scraping an ugly win
or loss,
and you're just like, yeah, we're gonna do it.
Easy win, 65% possession. I'm saying 5.
They ain't doing that every game anyway, and they're not doing anything with it.
5+ shots on target. It's gonna be an easy win, boys.
Oh man, I love the confidence, and
Buckle up.
If this happens, we will clip this and play it for all eternity. Every time Damon Dog is producing us. I mean, yeah, listen, Brett in the chat, 2-1 Rising. This has been this has kind of been the vibe of this season where it's like, okay, most score predictions, we ask the chat, we say something, it's like, it'll be a draw, or it'll be like a 1 goal, like, kind of Rising win. Multiple people are saying, hey, this is going to be a loss. So we'll see. Yeah, Kevin in the chat going crazy with that 3-0 prediction, Damon Dog. Listen, man, this is kind of where we're at. It's a team. Yes, you're playing a club that is even worse than you are, and that's just kind of how it feels. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this new signing and just coming back home, dollar beer night, it may lift things. I just don't think it will.
We'll see.
We will see. One thing that we will see a lot of people crushing some Four Peaks, little pre-game in action for the tailgates, right? It is dollar beer night. We'll be crushing it with some Four Peaks in the parking lot. Again, just a rumor going around that I'll start. But yes, Four Peaks, we already know what's going to happen. I've seen people there with their Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale. Check them out. It is absolutely delicious. If you have not already, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? It's not just us asking Phoenix Rising, what are you doing? It's asking the fans, what are you doing? Check out Bad Birdie and their Juicy Golden Ale, only from Four Peaks. Again, they also have the Kill Lifter, the Hop Knot, the Hazy IPA, everything going on. Check them out today.
What about the Wow?
I think I said wow.
No, you didn't.
Did
you
I?
didn't say wow, did he, Damon?
I said wow.
He didn't.
I said wow. I think I said wow earlier in the show, unrelated to a reaction that I had. So I'm just going to audio clip that, put it in.
We don't know how many fans are expected, Kevin, but
the ones that are, they're going to be drinking Four Peaks if they're 21 years or older because they're drinking responsibly. But yeah, of course, check out Four Peaks at Four Peaks Pub and at Four Peaks Brew to keep with the latest and greatest going on in Arizona's hometown brewery. Find them at a beer place near you like Circle K or Four Peaks 8th Street Pub at fourpeaks.com. Bang. Okay. Listen, we've had a full show, folks. We have, talked about a new signing. We've talked about a little bit of Friday's match, a little score prediction action. It's going to be a match. I'll say that on Friday. It's going to be a match. That's my analysis.
Damon, what do you make of that punditry? It's going to be a match.
It's going to be a match.
Hashtag analysis.
Hashtag. That's why they...
I hear that they're tapping Max to be the next Alexi Lalas.
So they pay Max the big bucks.
It is.
Oh, and you have said some pretty bad things to me on air. Don't you ever say that again. Or I will fight you on air. And I'll put it in
Max,
Discord.
you don't like Alexi Lalas?
Really?
Really?
Lalas is having a good time this week, boys.
I think he's having a great time this week.
Yeah.
He's finally free. He's been working every day for like a month. The man is finally free, huh?
He's he's doing...
What are you wearing there, Max? What are you wearing?
Oh my gosh.
What are you wearing? We haven't had this discussion yet. Max is wearing a Premier League branded shirt.
It's like the NFL
He's like,
hat.
I'm getting
it's
a
like,
football
it's like
shirt.
Rob Lowe with the NFL
It's just
hat.
Premier League.
There we go.
You smack that down with some power.
I did. Golden Boot
Can't
winner
believe he's about
power.
to open it up and his screen is gone.
Okay, we're good.
It's good. There's no crack. There's no crack. We're okay.
Oh boy. Yes. Mark Kelly in the chat. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Goodness, Kevin in the chat. Will there be over 5,000 people with the Heat? I mean, again, listen, they like to think Dollar Beer will bring out people for excitement and strong opinions. Yeah.
Strong views.
Strong.
Especially if they lose.
Oh, dear gosh.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Everyone is happy. Happy mood, right? Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
it's something. Gosh, man. Is there anything else we have?
I think we're about done.
I think we're about done. Damon, you have anything for the people? No, he's shaking.
No, he's shaking his head. Damon, you have nothing for the people.
You gotta give the people something. Give the people the rallying cry, dude. Give them something.
Should we dive into the Argentinian national team?
No. No.
Why?
You asked for something.
No, not that.
I'm keeping it on soccer.
Oh, dear gosh. That's on that note. Thank you for everyone for joining us here on the PHNX Rising.
Wait, Max, we've had enough like questions about you having questionable viewpoints. Can you just clarify for us now? Like, he just brought up racism and you didn't condemn it, Max. Come on.
No, he wanted to move on immediately.
Yeah, he immediately wanted to move on. I think it needs a strong condemnation.
About what the Argentinian national team did?
Yes.
Yes, not good.
Yes. Good. Thank you, Max.
We, as the
On
PHNX
record.
Wrexham podcast, disavow all forms of
Yes, we
racism.
do. Yes, PHNX
Indeed.
Wrexham and the PHNX
Indeed,
Rising
indeed.
podcast,
Actually,
which really
Max,
is
I
one of
need
the
you to
same.
stall a minute. I need you to stall.
Oh, yes, this is good. Oh, I know why
I
you're
need
stalling.
you to stall.
I know why you're stalling. I will address. I'll talk to chat while you're stalling. Really professional, Owen. Great job. Yes,
I know,
Bandita's
I know.
Bluebird. Happy birthday, Stat Lackey. Yes, of course.
Very true.
So now in chat also saying happy birthday, Rees. Yes, Owen is
Our sweet baby angel Rees.
Our sweet baby angel. He's just a young lad.
A wee lad.
And he still is a wee lad, but he celebrated an 18th birthday, right?
Now he's a wee lad that can buy a pint in England.
Yes,
He is.
Yes, he can buy a pint in England. He told us, hey, he sent us a photo of his first pint legally in England, and we asked him how many. He said he was at 2, and we definitely said, we got no peer pressure. That's cool. You're doing great. Totally what we said.
Absolutely. We'd never say anything
Never,
other
ever,
than that.
never
Ever,
anything
ever,
else.
Why is this taking me so long?
Hurry up, Owen.
Have some people stop messaging me as I'm trying to find this.
Well, maybe you could have been
particular
more
thing on my
prepared. Like I am. I keep this place running. Goodness gracious. Chat, keep chatting us because this is just really great, especially around audio. Oh my gosh,
Oh my
we're
God, it
sending
is.
that. Oh goodness.
Yeah, this is what it is.
Wow. Wait. Mark Kelly in the chat. Southgate to Cardiff. That's confirmed. Oh boy,
Why
Damon,
are
we gotta
we-
hop on this. This is now a PHNX Wrexham Variety Hour. Let's go.
That
Let's
would be
talk about it.
huge.
I mean, listen, it's Wrexham would never hire Southgate because we want serial winners, not serial choke artists.
Yeah. I mean, well, we only look towards the top. I mean, I would imagine in a few years' time when Pep's done at City.
I mean,
that Ryan and Rob will approach Pep and say, "Hey,
it's a
do you
natural
wanna-"
progression in your in your coaching career. You only coach the top. You go Barcelona, you go Bayern Munich, you go Man City, and then you go Wrexham.
Exactly.
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, I think
This makes sense.
that is pretty much what's going to happen. So I think that's the target in 2025. Absolutely.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, it is. But maybe just maybe, we might have a development now coming up as well, because it's not just Rees's birthday, would you believe?
Oh gosh.
It's not just Rees's birthday. Do you know what today is, Max? And I'm not going to reveal it yet. I'm not going to reveal it until we get it up here. But do you know what today is, Max?
Do you want me to say it?
No, we're waiting for the image to come up, but it's also a special day that's not just Rees's birthday.
Sunday.
And it's why we wanted to do this very special mashup just for Rees's birthday, okay?
Oh boy.
We want it to happen. We want to show it to you. So Damon, are we ready? Are we ready to show the people? Are we ready to show the people?
Hey.
It's not just Rees's birthday, it's also National Hot Dog Day. So here is the crossover. It's our very own stat lackey, Rees, dressed up as a hot dog. Not the one that he ate and that gave him food poisoning from Rising Stadium, but he is dressed up as a hot dog nonetheless. Happy National Hot Dog Day and happy Rees's birthday to our very own stat lackey there. Look at him! Look at him! Dressed up as a hot dog.
Oh my gosh. That is that's our stat lackey. We're so proud. They grow up so fast. Oh man.
Okay, now we can stop stalling. Max, let's wrap it up.
Max, you know Owen's distracted when we bring up Pep to Wrexham,
he says nothing.
and he has zero
He knows it's
things
true.
to say.
He
out
knows
of
it's
it.
true.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It's
I would
the
cope
inevitable.
too if I was a Cardiff fan. Biggest club in Wales.
Biggest club in Wales. Oh, everyone's saying Rees is so cute. Oh, that hot dog certainly was. Appreciate everyone joining us here on the PHNX.
You might have to tweet that as well, I'm going to be honest.
Oh no, as you absolutely should. Also, then there's like the further down the rabbit hole, you connected Rees to hot dog, and we could, in theory, connect Damon Dog to the Star Wars because you got a freaking Star Wars helmet.
Yeah, someone sent him a helmet.
That's crazy. I'm sorry for breaking that
In
news
the
here, but like, that's
studio.
pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You got to bring it out. Go get it. Go get
Max,
it. Go get it.
can we wrap this up now, though?
Hey,
It's been a while and it's getting hot in here.
You're fine. You're fine. Oh my gosh. The only thing heating up here is the transfer rumor. No, I wish. No, but Damon Dog is getting. Oh dear gosh. Hello. Guess. Oh my gosh. Can you talk?
Yeah, someone sent this
Oh, hey.
to the studio.
That's incredible. This is It's a hell of a screensaver. Damon, you missed the whole show. Well, this is pretty much what you missed. Yep,
You should have just tuned in for the hot dog Rees and then Damon showing up in a helmet. Like, you've had pretty much everything here.
Oh boy. On that note, appreciate.
Oh, you're going to an MLS game? Boo!
No free ads. Appreciate everyone joining us here on the PHNX Rex, PHNX Rising podcast. Of course, you can follow us at PHNX __ Rising because double the underscore.
Max, are you talking to yourself,
Double
mate?
the underscore.
Max, are you talking to yourself,
Oh,
man?
it's your turn, dude. Just what you
No,
do.
you can do whatever you want, mate.
don't-
Whatever you want.
You don't want to hop in?
No, it's all right.
Do you want to hop in, Damon? Double the underscore.
Double the chance creators on PHNX or PH Phoenix Rising.
We get
And
there
there's
eventually.
Charlie Dennis.
I love it.
No, I don't want to Stoke City jerseys. Thank you, chat.
Oh gosh, you can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJ Evans18. You can follow Damon Dog on Twitter at Damon DAWG. You can follow Statlacky Rees on Twitter at Rees11 _ Go wish him a happy birthday and send him some hot dog money. Yeah, man, it's
He might need it. Soak up the drink, you know.
it's a beautiful game, but it's way more beautiful when Phoenix Rising sign a player which has two characters from the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Good night, everyone.
We all silly like the mayor.